Oh, welcome welcome all to the SnailTrail4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course hearing about how fantastic locking mechanisms are in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler. Joining me for another episode of SnailTrail4x4 podcast is Jimmy Jet. Jimmy, how's your Formosa?
It is sad.
I agree. It's not very orangey.
It's not very orangey at all. Yeah.
It's only one half of the Formosa today.
It's just the poor.
It's the poor part of the Formosa today. That's funny.
What is a Formosa for those that have no idea what we're talking about?
A Formosa is orange. It's Sunny D specifically, but orange juice in the form of Sunny D, which arguable as to whether or not Sunny D is orange juice.
Yeah, sure.
And Coors Light.
Yep.
So typically a mimosa is orange juice and champagne.
Yeah. The nice stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice, good, like high quality, bougie stuff.
Yeah, pinky out.
Yep. And Formosas are Sunny D and Coors Light. And we just have the Coors Light. So we don't have any Sunny D in here, but it's amazing. We had Formosas out on the snow trip at Uncle Tom's.
Yeah.
And we were both I don't know. Everybody who had one was like, these are actually pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Sunny D is notoriously sweet for an orange juice. And I don't know how much orange is actually in it, but it's very sweet. And so the more bitterness that you get from beer offsets that, but you get the nice carbonation from the Coors Light. And it ends up tasting really good, actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
forgot who brought it up first.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe it was just because one of what was his name? The other Tyler?
Bougie Tyler. Country Club Tyler.
Yes. I think his son was running around with the Sunny D's. Right. And then I think it was either the assistant or myself. I forgot. Was like, oh, we should make some Formosas. And everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, Sunny D and a light beer.
Uh-huh.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Formosa.
Yep.
It's when you wake up hungover and you can't actually do hair at a dog because it's like the beer is so bad. You do a Formosa and you can survive.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I was very pleasantly surprised. That was the first time I've had a Formosa, and I was like, that was good. And this over the past weekend, not this weekend, last weekend, Easter weekend, I made a comment to the wife that I was like, we should have Formosas. And she goes, what the hell is a Formosa? I told her, she goes, that's gross. We're never having that. And I was like, that's what you think.
Yeah.
Next time we have mimosas, I'm going to actually make Formosas.
Okay.
And see if she says anything.
She'll know the difference. She'll be like, this champagne went bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And we're way off topic already.
Oh, we're doing an off-road podcast? Yeah, totally forgot.
Off topic, off-road. They're like one and the same.
Yeah.
I've really been getting into Bloody Marys lately.
I've never been able to do Bloody Marys. I taste them, and every time I have them, I
was that way.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know that they say like every 7 years your taste buds change or whatever, but I don't know like a good spicy Bloody Mary to me, I'm just like, yes. And I think that might be my thing that I start bringing to camps. Like,
okay.
Morning of, I'm not normally one of the morning risers. I'm more I'm one of the later people that rise. But when I get up, I'm thinking about like, it's going to be a Bloody Mary time for everybody that's in camp. I think that might be my thing.
Nice.
Maybe it'll be Formosas. Who knows? But
one or the other.
That will be a little easier.
I'll bring the Formosas. I'll start turning that into my thing if you want to do Bloody Marys.
But I could probably do, like, I like the bacon inside and all the accoutrements on top and everything. And like,
so you're going to do an actual bougie Bloody Mary.
Sort of.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be like some pickled veggies, not like a hamburger.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like that sort of style.
Okay. We should do a challenge sometime. We'll set out a table with like 50-50 Bloody Marys and Formosas
and see
who gets the most taken.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it. We
need to go wheeling first with a bunch of people or go somewhere with a bunch of people.
We just need to be at Beer Tree.
That's fair. Dude, we could totally set up at Beer Tree one day with just a table full of cups.
Yeah.
Free drinks.
Yeah.
What do you want? You only get one though.
You only get one little Dixie cup.
Yeah.
Which one are you taking?
Oh, my Dixie wrecked. I get it.
Yes.
Anyways.
Okay.
What are we doing? We're doing off-road
circling around here.
Yep. This is Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. We are getting ready for a fun episode. We have a few other things going on though. First, where that's back end stuff for the podcast, things that you guys get a chance to win. Some pretty cool deals. We've worked with companies that like working with the podcast, that we've been able to make some pretty cool deals with for everybody, and hopefully make some win-win situations for the companies, for you guys, for us, etc. So the first thing coming up is the month of April is gift box month, which means that you guys have roughly 30 days from April 1st to April 30th to get in on the gift box, or leave the gift box if you want to, and without, like, wasting money getting into April or getting into May or June and deciding you don't want to be in the gift box tier anymore and leave. We're not giving you a refund for that. Sorry. It's too much work. So if you want to get out, do it now. Do it now. If you want to downgrade your tier, you can downgrade. If you want to upgrade and get into the gift box tier, because the gift boxes are a lot of fun. There's personal things that Jimmy and I have personally kind of put together for you guys. So we come up with some ideas to put in these gift boxes, make the ideas happen, reach out to companies, try and turn your money into more money in terms of product. And it's a fun little game that we like to have. And hopefully it's a fun game for you guys to get your gift boxes and open them. It's just like another Christmas or a birthday present. So the month of April is when you get to do that. Month of October will be the next time you get to do it. So if you are thinking you may want to do it now. Today is April 13th. You have about another 2 weeks to get in. So this month's giveaway is 2 gift boxes. So we're going to take the gift boxes that we put together for everybody. I think we're doing like 63 gift boxes this round.
Something close to that. Yeah.
So we get enough stuff to make a few extra gift boxes. So we like to do 2 of them for the monthly giveaway of gift box month. So we got 2 extra gift boxes. And these are items where if you're getting a gift box in the gift box tier and you end up winning the monthly tier, I think you would want extra items of these.
Yeah.
So it's not like a bad thing to have duplicates of them. They'll definitely serve a purpose and have a place if you have duplicates. So that is this month. If you guys want to get in for any of that, you got to go over to irate4x4.com for now and get signed up for all that. I think after this month, we're going to keep it open on Irate, but we're also going to open up the subscription plans because it's all essentially being coordinated through PayPal. But Irate 4x4 is giving us a great spot to have a nice user interface for you guys to sign up for those subscriptions. But we will be working on a way to do that through Discord as well, through the Discord server. So through this month, it's only available over on Irate 4x4. I think after this month, we'll be opening up, giving you guys instructions on how to do that in either place that you want to do it in.
Yep. So sounds good. And Irate 4x4 doesn't take any money.
No, they don't.
They just are allowing us to have a landing pad.
Yep. Austin's just helping us out. Yep. And we get some more publicity there on Irate 4x4, and he gets more foot traffic to the forum. So it's a win-win for him. So let's see. We got reviews. As always, we do giveaways, and it's our way of bribing you guys to come over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. Because anytime people go and search for off-roading content, camping content, wrenching on your rig content, Toyota content, but definitely no Land Rover content, going and leaving a review on Apple Podcasts is one of the big drivers for search functionality. So Apple Podcasts loves seeing what current viewers think about a show before they feed that show to new viewers. So reviews go a really long way to growing the show, keeping more content coming in, keeping fresh companies working with us to do cool stuff for you guys. So it all goes around in like a giant circle. So do that. Go do it. And if you do it, we enter you to win some cool stuff. So every 50 reviews, we give away some fun things, like an Onyx Elite membership for Onyx Off-Road, as well as some swag packs. We're doing that. And then once we reach 900 reviews, the next big grand prize will be with more Flate. we'll put together roughly about $1,000 or more, $1,000 minimum package from Moreflight with a bunch of goodies in it. So including hopefully our new project, which I just got clearance. I don't know if I told you this.
I have no idea of any of these projects except for the one that's out there on the do not break part.
The emergency
thing.
Yeah. The big one that's coming. Yeah, the big one.
That's out there in the emergency.
The big project that's coming near the end of this year just got signed off on engineering.
Oh,
nice. So the engineering samples are now being made.
Okay.
And so essentially the production, the factory said, and the engineers got together and said, yep, totally, that design works. Everything should work together. So now it's moving forward, creating an engineering sample to make sure that it actually does all work together.
Sure.
And once that is all signed off, we don't have any more changes from there. We'll go to create all the tooling and then go into production. So
we should do an episode on what it takes to create a product for the off-road industry.
Yeah, I mean, there's different levels of it for sure.
Yeah. And I think you're at one of the highest levels.
This is one of the higher levels.
Mine's definitely not that high.
Yeah. This one has a lot more components and systems and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
To that you just, I mean, it has more than our hose kits does in it.
Right.
Definitely more than a couple of the other projects we have working in the pipeline. So it's definitely one of the more involved projects.
Cool.
And the big hurdle of, will this design actually work, is all signed off and done. So it will for sure work, which means now we can submit patents on it and move to make an engineering sample on it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is it going to show up in red and black?
Red and black. No. Hopefully not this time. If you know, you know. Oh, man.
Anyways, kidding. We've also got a group buy going on for everybody. So one great way is to leave us those reviews. But if you want to get into a group buy that we're doing for the LightRanger 500, all we need is an email address for you guys, because you just saying that you're interested in it. Let's see, how is the breakdown going?
10 units is 15%. If we get 20 units sold, committed to, then it'll be 20%. If we get 30 or more units, it's 25%.
Right.
But I'm willing to bet, knowing our history with Devos, if we get upwards of like 60 units, they'd probably give us a bigger discount than 25%. It's just a matter of, we need the commitment to get there first.
Right. Absolutely. So if you're interested in getting a discounted rate on the Devos LightRanger 500, which retails for about $70, I can almost guarantee that we're going to hit that 10% fairly quickly.
15%. 10 units.
Sorry, 15%. Yep. So that's going to drop it, around $50. No, around $60.
It'll be around 60. It'll be about $60 for the first tier. Yeah.
So first tier, even if we just get over 10 people, you're already dropping it about $10. So if you're interested in getting in on that, all we need is an email address for you. There's no down payments, no money transfer to start it. We just need an email showing your commitment and probably a quantity of how many you're actually interested in, if you're interested in more than one.
If you want to send in a blood and sperm sample as well to show your commitment, Jimmy is accepting those too.
Yeah. So is Nick from Montana. So you can email us, you can DM us, or you can get on our new Discord, which is the next thing I wanted to tell you guys about. We've now started a Discord channel. On the Discord channel, we've started a group buys thread, and specifically for the LightRanger 500. So you can also comment there saying that you're interested in it. You feel free to leave your email address there if you dare, or you can DM us through Discord, or we can DM you if you say you're interested, and we'll ask for your email address so that we could keep a list, which we're actually going to attempt to do on Discord as well, in a hidden thread for just Tyler and I. And if we ever get an admin or something like that, they can be on there too.
Show producer.
Yeah. So we're going to try to be working in Discord more often. So if you want to join us and get an easier access to chatting with us, you definitely can do that. You just need to use the link that's down in the show notes, and that'll bring you over to the Discord. We're only talking about the Discord here on the podcast at the moment.
Yep.
We haven't published this on social medias or anywhere else for the most part. So if you're a listener to the podcast and you're up to date, then you're going to be one of the first people entered into that Discord. So that'll be really cool. I did see that Zach from Oklahoma joined the other day. So that's going to be some fun chats with
Bob
Zach.
is on there. Beer Craig's on there.
Yep.
There's a bunch of people signed up.
A lot of people signed up already. So
I want to say there's 25 people on there now.
Really?
When I looked, I think this morning it said 25 members. Yeah.
Dang. We're growing quick.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's about the group buy. That's about the Discord. We talked about gift boxes that are going on this month through the end of the month. We talked about reviews, and we talked about the giveaway. I think we're good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Then let's take a quick break, and we'll be right on back with today's campfire discussion, which, like we said in the intro, has to do with locking mechanisms. And we'll be right on back. Grab your favorite drink. We'll make some more Pormosas here, minus the Mosa, and we'll see you soon.
At 4-Wheel Underground, we have something for everyone's 79 through 04 Toyota vehicle. Whether you've got a Chevy Dana 60, 05 and up Super Duty, fabricated, FJ80, or mini truck axles, we got you covered. 3-link, 4-link, parallel, and triangulated suspension kits, we've got you covered. Under-bed coilover mounts, through-bed coilover mounts, trailing arms, cantilevers, custom-tuned coilovers, and air pumps, we've got you covered. Frame stiffeners, subframes, skid plates, shock towers, and more to come. Make sure to use coupon code SnailTrail at 4wheelunderground.com because we've got you covered.
Welcome back, ladies and germs. This is the campfire discussion on Monday, April 13th, episode 698.
Wow.
So April 20th, 420 will be episode 700, Jimmy.
We should do it high.
Oh, we already, if you just hit the little turtle button on your on your podcast platform there, apparently we become plastered for you. So
yep. Thanks, Boondock Brian, for showing us that.
Oh, it's still hilarious. Today we get to talk with you guys about one of Jeff Morgan from Oregon, one of his favorite topics, which is lockers.
We should have tried to get him on here to do this episode.
I didn't even think about that.
You have his phone number.
I do have his phone number. Just give him a random call.
Give him a random call right now.
Jeff, you're divorced. You have time in your day. Let's talk. That would have been great. Maybe we'll just end up getting do a follow-up episode with him or something. Be like, all right, Jeff, what did we fuck up?
Yeah. What did we fuck up? This is like the entire snail mail episode right now.
Right. Anyways, we're going to go over this. We're going to do our best. We have kind of a bit of experience with a lot of different types of lockers. And we've already gone over an episode where we talked about kind of like Locker 101. What are the different types of lockers out there? Different styles. How do they work? The kind of getting into the more in-depth stuff that was the main point of that day's content, that day's show. And that was what, episode 460?
460, lockers before lockers.
There you go. So if you guys want more kind of in-depth information about differential lockers, go check out episode 460. Today's episode is going to be more about locker use cases. So we've tried to kind of brainstorm some different styles of off-roading, types of things you may do with an off-road vehicle, and then think about the different types of lockers out there and think, would this locker be better than these other lockers? And kind of almost rank them as to what would be better for this situation, and what would be worse for this situation to have as a locker. So let's talk about just a quick overview.
Yeah, I agree.
The different kind of styles of lockers that are out there, differential lockers. So I think the first one is no locker.
Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh.
It's open. Just open. It's spider gears, open spider gears that just rotate and allow the tires to turn at a differential speeds. Lets the differential be a differential, right? So no locker, no mechanism to force the two axle shafts on either side of the vehicle to spin at the same speed. They're allowed to go at different directions. Not necessarily, well, I guess different directions too, but different speeds. So when you're turning around a corner, you get a tire spinning differential, which allows the inside tire to turn slower than the outside tire. The outside tire has bigger distance to travel on the arc of a radius in a turn. Therefore, it needs to spin faster to complete the same turn. So that's a differentials dual, and not having any sort of locker, any sort of locking differential mechanism in there allows the spider gears to do that.
Yep.
It's a really, really cool. Still my favorite video, I think, online.
Yeah. How do differentials work?
How a differential works.
Yeah, for sure. These are also whenever we see those people that love to accelerate off the line and they only have one tire spinning.
Yep.
They have an open differential.
Yep.
A one tire fire.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So the next one on the list is limited slip or posi, which are from my minor research. I found that posi is just, I think it was, oh man, I'm going to butcher it.
Wasn't
I think
it
was
a brand or a model of a
brand, a model vehicle or a brand truck. Changed the name of limited slip only for themselves.
Okay.
I want to say it was Ford, but I don't remember exactly. But it was either Chevy, Ford, or Dodge.
Okay.
Called their limited slip Posi-Trac. And so you either had a Posi-Trac or a limited slip, and it was essentially it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's mainly a bunch of clutches and springs to send power to the side that is sort of spinning. So it's a transfer of power. It's not equal power, and it's not a linear power change. It's sort of just a transfer of power from one side to the other when one side is slipping.
Yeah. And the thing with limited slips is they really have to be spinning at different rates, right? That very drastically different rates.
Yeah.
From one side to the other side. If you have one side that is, down, bound up on a rock or something on the ground, and the other tire's up in the air, and you're just kind of like idling, crawling, your limit slip probably will not kick in. But if you start adding wheel speed to it, that's when that limited slip will start kicking in and transferring that power through the clutch mechanisms inside the differential to that tire that's bound up in the rock kind of thing. So
got it. Yeah.
So the main point is you have to have a drastic change of wheel speed in order for those to start working.
Right.
So,
yep. Cool. The next one we have on the list is mechanical locker. So we're talking about something like an aux locker. Well, no, aux would be a selectable.
Yep.
We're talking something along the lines of like a Detroit.
Yep.
Or what? So that's or a Grizzly. That was the other one I'm looking for.
Big one, yep.
Yeah, those are sort of the big ones. There are like true tracks and things like that, which I would still sort of put in. They could be like somewhere between a posi or limited slip and a mechanical, but I'd still kind of lump those into the mechanical locking side.
Yeah.
And the way that these work is it's literally a mechanical connection from sort of one axle shaft, let's just say, to the other axle shaft. This is very generic. But once one of them starts spinning faster than the other, it mechanically locks them together. And this is sort of the point at which we see a true locker where both sides of your vehicle, both tires on each side of the axle, are spinning at the same rate.
Yeah, a lot of times these are engaged through input from the pinion as well.
Oh, okay.
So if
I always thought it was when one side spins faster, but now that
I think that's more like the posi and limited slips. I think the like a Detroit and a Grizzly, they as soon as you apply power to them, that's when they kind of lock up. And when you release power and you're just drifting, coasting around a corner, they're unlocked.
That's what I was gonna say. Where I was gonna stand corrected. Yes. Yeah, because if you accelerate to the corner, but then you let off the throttle and you coast around, they do not engage.
Yep. So that's kind of your mechanical locker. It's an auto locker. A lot of people call them auto lockers
because they go into autos.
Yep, because they go into automobiles.
Yep.
And so yeah, the nice thing about those is anytime you're applying power to your drivetrain, your differential locks up, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on the situation. As some people will attest that have Detroits in their vehicles, you'll be going around a corner and all of a sudden you apply power to exit the corner and the rear end likes to jump out of your turn. The rear end likes to jump and skid over. It's because both your tires in the rear are now turning at the same rate. You don't have that differential spinning to them, so they stop wanting to turn and they try and go straight. You end up sliding out, essentially like a drift, like you're drifting the car. So which is
it's fun if you know what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of freaks you out the first few times if you're not ready for it. So that's the nice thing about Grizzlies, Detroit's, your auto locker style, is that as you don't have to have wheel spin happening and in that differential for them to start working. It's as soon as you start usually applying power to the drivetrain, they'll lock up for you. So sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yep. Yeah. The next one we kind of divided into two. We'll see how this works here as we run down this list. To slow speed selectables and high speed selectable lockers.
Yeah. Slow speed selectables, they're selectable lockers, right? So you choose when they're locked and when they're open. And I like to categorize them into subcategories of slow speed and high speed selectables, mainly because of my recent adoption of e-lockers.
Okay.
E-lockers, they don't engage as quickly as air lockers do.
Right.
And aux lockers, unless you're using the air actuated mechanisms for them, setups for them, they definitely don't lock as fast as air lockers. So the benefit to like ARB air lockers or Yukon zip lockers is that you actuate them with a high pressured air system.
Okay. Yep.
And that high pressure air system can lock in the locking mechanisms very quickly, which means you can engage them in between the teeth of your lockers inside the carrier while it's spinning at faster rates. E-lockers and aux lockers, you kind of either got to be stopped or going like 5 miles an hour or slower to really lock them in and not risk shearing those teeth off as the two mating teeth surfaces engage, because they just don't go as fast, right? They don't get a full engagement right away. It's almost like a slow engagement. So if your teeth are turning on one side, think of grinding your gears in your transmission.
Yes, exactly.
So, that's essentially kind of how I like to categorize them. And when you're driving in different situations, it could be very, very nice to have an air locker and engage and be able to turn on and off your lockers at high speeds. If you're never really doing high speed, go fast situations, slower selectable lockers are kind of nice to have too. So there it can be situational. So that's why we kind of split those up into the two subcategories there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the last one.
Always locked.
Yes.
And this is your spool. Essentially, we're going to call it a spool throughout the episode. This could also be welding your spider gears all together in your open differential. Or as we've been seeing some videos coming out recently, just dumping a ton of JB weld into your carrier to be able to lock your spider gears together using JB weld. So,
have you seen the video of that guy that cuts out a metal plate that's cut as the cutouts for the spider gears in the carrier, and you can just like set it in and then you literally weld the whole thing up?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. That's in my opinion, that's a little bit stronger than just welding the gears of the spider gears.
Yeah.
Because now you're jamming everything together and not letting anything move at all with structure. So
yeah,
I think that's a cool way to do it.
My first locker or my first locker was a welded diff.
Nice.
Yeah. And we welded it. All
was
assembled.
It a Lincoln locker or a Hobart Heligrip or?
It was a Miller locker.
Mighty Grip?
Miller Mighty Grip.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because Hustle Nuts and I did it.
Okay.
And Hustle Nuts had the welder and he has a Miller.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. And so we just cleaned it really good, made sure it wasn't oily and, kind of, welded it all together right there. It's kind of crazy.
Yep.
Just a lot of heat, a lot of weld, and that thing never broke. I might still have it.
Nice.
I don't know. I think I do. I don't remember where it's at now.
Nice.
I don't know why I would have gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
So who knows? I think it's just a carrier on a center section of a carrier, I guess.
A carrier
on the shelf right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's that's essentially our last category.
Yep.
Is just always locked.
Yes.
So that's your spool, your welded diffs, JB welded diffs for people that are doing that.
Which is what Bobcat has.
JB Weld?
No, spool.
Okay. I was like,
has the fully locked all the time.
Yep.
In the rear of Bobcat.
Yep.
All 100%. Always locked, even when I'm driving on the road and everything.
Yep. So, those are kind of the different categories that we're going to be applying to different use cases and trying to have a discussion, a conversation. And this is where the campfire discussion part comes in of what lockers are best for the different types of situations and why kind of thing. I will say we're not going to be getting into systems that like mimic locking differentials, such as torque vectoring systems like A-Trac, crawl control, the different kind of like goat modes or anti-slip abilities.
Sure.
That vehicles have nowadays, where they're essentially reading the tone rings on a wheel speed sensor, and then trying to use the brake system to match the tone rings on the system. And we're not going to use those and talk about those. We're going to stick to specifically differential locking mechanisms and ways to lock those up. So
yeah, we'll have to do another episode with all the crazy stuff that goes into some of those technology for the goat modes and whatever, all the Rivian stuff with CJ. Four motor Rivians that don't have differentials at all. And they're not using the brake system really to control it. They're using power to each motor. And so, that's pretty crazy stuff you can do once you eliminate differentials, which I'm sad about, but it's cool stuff. It's still really cool stuff. You don't need a locker anymore because you can just automatically power from 2 tires or 4.
And with electricity, it's infinitely controllable pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So we ran down the different types of lockers that we're going to be covering. We got open, limited slip, mechanical locker. We have a slow speed selectable, a high speed selectable, and a spool. And I'll just quickly run down sort of the different kind of categories that we're going to kind of cover. We started this with, I'll just say the first one I have on the list is mud. And we were going to, Tyler and I were sitting here before we started recording and we were going to debate which one we thought. So then when we start talking about it in the episode, we kind of have already things laid out. But we started arguing on the very first one about which one maybe is the most important. And I said, all right, let's just start recording the podcast because apparently this is the podcast. So I have written down sort of the 4 basic land the territories, terraforms or whatever you want to call it. And then some sort of other kind of style ones. We've got mud, sand, snow, and rock. As sort of our standards. And then we have like high speed sort of Baja style. We have rock crawling sort of Ultra 4 style. And then we have sort of more of a generic forest road kind of style. So those are the ones that I have written down. So let's start with mud. Let's start at the top of the list.
Cool.
We have, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of lockers. Starting from open, ending in spool. For mud, which one do you think is the most important?
So I struggled with this one a little bit more than I thought I would. I immediately, like when I first thought about it, my instant gut reaction was spool. Why would you want anything else?
Right.
Spools are strong. They're reliable. They're consistent. Like they're not going to change on you. And really with mudding, a lot of times what you're doing in mudding is you're just driving in a straight line through a mud pit at as high of a speed with as much horsepower as you can. And that's what spools are really designed for.
That's a great scenario for
them. They lock the wheels together so you're not having a differential anymore to be able to make turns. You're going straight. They're extremely strong, very simple creatures, which is what a lot of mudders are. So like that was my initial thought. I was like, there's no contest. There's no debating it. Like spool is the only thing you would ever really want for mudding. But then I started thinking, are there styles of mudding out there that's a track? And you're having that same style of mud vehicle, but you need to be going around a track and making turns.
I don't know of any for the most part.
I don't.
I mean, I know that there are tracks that include mud.
Like a rally sport tracks kind of thing, or area BFE.
Yeah, or area BFE. Yeah, true.
But like I'm thinking of like a high horsepower like mud truck, like Wreck-It Rob's mud truck.
Yeah,
on a track where you need to be turning and making high speed turns and stuff, almost like a sprint cars.
Yeah,
kind of thing, but in a mud truck. I don't know if there is, but like if there is, I would say you would want limited slips in that.
Limited slips or selectable?
I would say limited slips. Limited slips, maybe an auto locker at Detroit. I just feel like with because mud, the whole point is tire spin. Yes. You need a lot of wheel spin, so your drivetrain is always running at high speed.
Yes.
Whether or not you're actually moving high speed or not, your drivetrain thinks you're running high speed. So I would. And if I'm mudding and the goal is to be going as fast as possible, I don't want to have to worry about thinking about whether or not my lockers are turned on.
Okay.
So like, and so I started thinking about, would I want a Detroit then or a limited slip? And I'm thinking, if I'm going to be spinning and drifting around corners or trying to take high speeds, I don't know if I would want a Detroit because we always want the power spinning and the wheels spinning. They're always going to be locked up. It's going to make it a little harder to make that turn maybe.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking limited slips.
Interesting. I would still argue spools.
Really? You think so too? It's the whole time?
Yeah. I'm thinking of like Bigfoot.
Okay. Yeah.
Bigfoot,
or Gravedigger.
Or Gravedigger or whatever.
Side note, since I mentioned Gravedigger.
Okay.
We've been watching a lot of monster trucks recently with the kid.
Oh, okay.
And he thinks Gravedigger is Daddy's truck. Just FYI. It looks just like the 4Runner. So every time it comes on, Daddy's truck.
We're going to rename the 4Runner?
Gravedigger? Ooh.
From the mule to Gravedigger?
Maybe.
Yeah?
Maybe. The neon Gravedigger? I don't know.
Yeah. Neon Digger?
Neon Digger. Maybe we'll have to revisit that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the topic.
Yeah. I just say that these monster trucks, Bigfoot, kind of Gravedigger, these guys they're spooled front and rear.
Yeah.
They're not, they're a little bit of muddy. They do a little bit of money, but they're doing some of the like fast horsepower, big moves, big truck.
They are
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're spooled front and rear.
Yeah.
So I think spool is the way to go if you're mudding. Because I don't think a limited slip would be that great because you don't want to worry about the transfer of power happening because it might be too late. Okay.
That's fair. I can see that.
So I think spools are the way to go.
Okay. The most consistency.
Yeah.
For that kind of thing. And my original thought, I don't think you can beat a spool in that scenario. I'm just wondering how a limited slip or Detroit would do in a track scenario. And monster trucks are a great option, a great concept of that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think a selectable high speed option like an A or B or something would be probably a good alternative, an additional choice. As long as you're engaging things prior to when you're going to go, just make sure it's engaged before you hit the watering hole.
Yeah.
But once you get out, it'd be much easier to drive around without that selectable, especially because some of those tires are so big.
Yeah.
I can imagine turning is going to be horrendous with a spool. That or you need four-wheel steer and drifting and doing donut style things.
How's the scrub radius?
On one of those guys?
On one of those trucks.
Jeez, don't know.
Wreck-It Rob, how's the scrub radius? How was the scrub radius on your mud truck?
Right. So I would almost put spool, then a high-speed selectable.
I would agree. I think I would take a spool over high-speed selectable any day in that scenario.
Yeah. But would you go spool or would you do a mechanical locker over a selectable locker?
I think I would. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Not open. Are we all in
Not
agreement
open.
here that opens at the very end of this list?
Yeah, I think open is a very bad option for mudding.
Yeah.
And I think slow speed selectable would be a bad option for mudding too. I mean, maybe not the straightaways because you could turn it on before you start your run, and then
Right.
turn it off when your run is done,
Yes.
like on just the straight run through. So I could see those being handy. I don't think I think I would still prefer the spool because the point of that is usually to compete in mudding stuff. So I would want a simple, strong application,
Right.
than the complexities of a selectable in that situation, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to change the category a little bit.
Okay.
So I think we've decided that if you're a mudding truck, a person that's like, I equate this to the South. I don't know if anybody else does, but if you're a Southern boy that enjoys lifting his truck to the sky and hitting mud puddles or these monster mud puddles, ponds, maybe with tractor tires, a spool's the answer.
I would agree. I think that's the best way to go.
What about a normal? I was going to say normal person, but I don't. I think that's not even right. What about a person that's enjoys just going out in the backcountry on sort of fire roads or service roads of some sort, and it's muddy?
I think a selectable is a decent option for that then. I also think a Detroit and a limited slip is a decent option for that too.
Yeah.
I don't think open is a good option for that.
Nope. I
still think open would be one of the worst options for mud because the whole point of mud is that it's hard to get traction. So you need some tool to overcome that.
Right.
And open is not going to give you that. So I think it's selectable. And I think if you're just going through fire roads and it's really muddy, I don't think you need necessarily high speed versus slow speed is going to be a benefit either way for selectable. The selectable would definitely have the benefit in after the fun is over and you're back on pavement. I think the selectable just handles better on pavement. It's more consistent pavement driving to get to and from those trails.
Sure.
But on the trail itself, I don't know if there'd be a big benefit between selectable versus an auto locker or a limited slip or Detroit. So.
Yeah. I think a mechanical would be right up there as well. I think that a selectable or a mechanical would be above limited slip, but the limited slip or selectable would be the bigger advantage on the road.
Yep. I would not choose a spool for that vehicle.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
Just because you are getting to and from the trail on pavement still. So
right.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a daily driver.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Cool. How about the next one down? I think we murdered that one. Yeah. So which is sand.
Oh. Man. Sand, I would for sure say high-speed selectables got to be the way to go.
I agree.
Yeah. You have to have it. Yeah. I don't think at first I was like, spool would be good in sand. I was like, no, there's not. There's definitely times when you need to be open in sand kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's benefits to be able to spinning one tire and not the other ones kind of thing and having control over that. So, I think high-speed selectable is absolutely the way to go in sand.
I think so too. I think with the spool and Bobcat and me with my experience out in like Pajaro Dunes, not Pajaro Dunes. Why can't I think Oceano Dunes?
Okay.
Thank you. The locker literally just digs itself down.
Yeah.
It does, like, even you air down and you start moving, but literally you just start digging because it's not transferring the power as it kind of needs. You're just dropping yourself in. Now, a locker is good to have at sometimes, or locked wheels are good to have sometimes out there. I would almost argue, though, that the strong second contender here would be a limited slip.
That was going to be where I was going to go. Yep.
Yeah. I think that the limited slip would definitely help. It's not going to throw all the power down when you're like starting from a stopped position. When you're starting to move, you're going slow enough that one tire is going to be helping you push out of the situation that you're in. Or you could start getting on the throttle a little bit more, and then both tires can get engaged and help move you.
Yep.
I think that it will also be able to transfer the power well enough in the sand, since it's a little bit loose and moving, that it's going to help you keep the traction all the time wherever you're going to be going.
Yeah.
Both sides are pretty much going to be engaged similar to a locker, but not equal to a locker.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think that spool would be one of the worst options in sand. And I think that the high speed selectable is your top option. I think limited slip is a very strong contender. The auto locker, the Detroit's or Grizzlies, and the slow speed selectable, I think they're about the same there.
Yeah. If anything, the mechanical is probably a little below the selectable because you can turn the selectable off.
Yeah.
Which the next one we'll talk about snow, which is going to be quite similar, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have a one tire fire sometimes in these slippery conditions. It actually, will help you to some extent and not dig you down or not slip you off the trail, to have the option to let one tire move independently.
Yep.
So having some sort of selectable option is good, but having a locker in the sand is fun.
Yeah.
Because that's why I'm like, okay, high speed selectables there, because once you get going and you can start doing your drifts or slides or whatever, you want to turn that locker on.
Yep.
You want to slide. That's the half the fun, hitting that bowl and whipping it around, that's a good time. And it's easier to have that fun. I don't know if it's easier to have that fun, but makes it more, I guess it's easier to have that fun if you have a locker in the back, because now you can slip it and slide it a lot easier.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I was going to say something about a selectable locker, and I forget what it was now. Oh, well.
Oh, and I took...
Oh, it's limited slips.
Limited slip.
The nice thing about limited slips in sand is you can manipulate how much transfer of power happens using the brake as well.
Yes.
So you can actually manipulate which wheel power is going to by applying pressure at the brakes. So that's kind of the nice thing about having it for sand. Sand is it can be very tricky, and you can dig down very quickly. And it's nice to be able to control that power through the brake pedal, to the use of the brakes and applying the brakes that way. So
right. Yeah, I know when I was driving the Tacoma Charlotte around in down in Pismo, I was changing it from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive a lot.
Oh, okay.
Because you can do that I can't do that in Bobcat.
No.
Right? It's a mechanical connection with the fucking lever that I have to jam into gear. I have to come pretty much to a stop to change it to 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But the Tacoma, you can change it on the fly. They say, I think it's like up to 35 miles an hour. You can change that. And I'm not going 35 miles an hour in the dunes, but it was fun to be able to I need to start. I'll put it in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on plane. I'm going to 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Right. Now I need to learn how to do the wiring so I can go to 2-wheel drive with my locker on.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have lots of fun.
Yes, exactly.
But that was an interesting thing. And what a lot of what I kind of am relating back to that is you only need, I'm driving around in 2-wheel drive. I only need one tire moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So high speed selectable, I think, is a good option. Mm-hmm. You got the locker when you need it. Or want to play, and then most of the time you're in a one tire fire situation.
Yep.
Or limited slip, I think, would be that next better one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
All right. Ice, nice or ice?
Ice. Snow.
Snow is next.
Okay. Yep. Snow. I think a selectable locker in snow. Does it matter too much between high speed or slow speed? I can't think of a scenario off the top of my head where it would really matter. I think just as long as you have a selectable locker, I think you kind of the same terms of sand. You just want to be able to have control of where you have traction, when you have traction, when you don't have traction. Because the big thing in snow is, in theory, you would think that you'd want all 4 tires spinning at the same rate. But that becomes a bad thing when you're trying to turn on an embankment. Because as soon as you start sliding in snow, you create little ice sheets under your tires, essentially, and you just keep sliding. So the goal is you don't want to have your tires spin at different speeds. I mean, you do want to have your tires spin at different speeds so that you don't spin out and do that inside tire burnout with a locked differential.
Yeah.
So whereas in sand, you kind of do it for the fun. In snow, you do it more for making sure you stay on the trail.
Sure.
Kind of thing. And don't fall off the mountainside. So I think absolutely selectable lockers in snow. I don't think I would care too much if it was slow or high speed though. High speed selectables.
In deep snow, I don't think it matters. You're not going terribly fast.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, you're not going terribly fast. And most of the time when you are going fast, you're not switching between locked or unlocked.
Yeah.
It's more of a, I came to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to engage my locker or disengage my locker to move on or reverse or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
I think so. And I think in the snow, you want the option to have one tire moving or having a free differential to some level.
Mm-hmm.
So I think spools are at almost near the bottom.
I would agree. I wouldn't put them at the bottom.
No.
I think, but but they're not ideal, but I think that they're a better option than obviously open.
Sure.
And I think they're a better option than limited slips in the snow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the big issue with limited slip is that in order to get them to work, you have to have a high speed, a high differential rate of spinning, right? And your wheel speed. And you never want to be sitting there spinning a tire fast
in the snow. Yeah. But what about when you're playing with the brake?
You still have to get that moving to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's the big problem with it, right? In sand, you can kind of do that. Sand will it'll somewhat fill itself in to an extent. Snow doesn't really fill itself in, usually. No. So as soon as you start digging a hole, you're not coming back out of it unless you get out and fill it in yourself. And the other big problem with snow is as soon as you start spinning, you lose your traction forever, pretty much.
Kind of, yeah.
It kind of creates this little ice sheet underneath your tires. So it's hard to even get traction in the first place. So the goal in snow is to never spin your tires. Sometimes wheel spin is good. Just depends on the condition of the snow. But in my experience, there's way fewer times that you actually win by having tire spin, wheel spin.
Yeah. And I'd throw mechanical right there with spool for the most part.
I'd put it right above spool, but it's right in that same categories. Yeah.
So I agree. I think, a selectable is a good option for snow. Mm-hmm. I know in my scenario with Bobcat, because I have a spool in the back, I like to talk about just a frozen over road. Not snow, just a frozen ice sheet on a road. Yeah. If I accelerate, Bobcat its rear end just slides sideways. Yep. It doesn't move, right? No. It ends up pivoting one way or another. Yeah. Especially in 2-wheel drive. Yeah. And eventually the momentum or something will carry you forward and you'll get the grip or something, and you'll scoot forward. But because it's just an instant slip with a spool, I instantly lose traction, which I actually find fun at some points. Yep. But if I'm driving on a daily or I'm driving, somewhere where it's always icy, I would not want that in my vehicle. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about like ice. I don't say ice racing, ice road truckers. No, like ice racing, where kind of the goal is to be sliding around on ice.
Sure. What would be good for that?
I think a spool is great in that situation. That when you're looking to do that, right? Yeah. So there's a different use case. What is your goal? Is your goal to proceed in a controlled manner or slip and slide out? Because I think you mentioned it, and kind of in passing there, but you're like, sometimes I like spitting out on ice. So
I like sliding.
Sometimes that's the goal for me when driving on ice. And in that case, you want your rear tires locked together.
I should get into drifting is what I'm getting out of this.
I think you
should. Ori, I'm calling you.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So what we decided on was pretty much a selectable locker.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'll mark that one down. 4 or 5. Rocks is what we have next.
Okay.
And so I'm envisioning the Rubicon.
Okay. I'll envision the Rubicon with you.
Yeah.
I think a low speed selectable serves purpose really well on the Rubicon. High speed selectables do really well on the Rubicon too. But you have the added air system into it. So it's a little bit more, it's like one level up of complexity.
Sure.
In the system. But I think that, I think that's mainly for turning it. I don't know. Because if you have hydro assist or full hydro steering, it doesn't really care if your front end is locked.
No, it doesn't care. But if your front end is permanently locked with a spool or a mechanical, you're making a wider corner.
That's true. You're not able to make as tight of turns. Yep. So on a tighter trail, like especially
and including the rear. Have you've seen that video of the guy that showed your turning radius when your front is locked and your rear is open, and your front is open and your rear is locked. And it was almost like the rear
pushes you through it. Yeah. For sure. And that was always interesting to me too. I guess you know the trail. I think a lot of rock trails and just really technical rock crawling, you need to be able to turn tightly and have. It's not because you're making a turn. You just may need to get from rock A to rock B within 5 feet, and it's a diagonal from you, right in the middle of an obstacle, and you need to be able to maneuver and make that turn. And sometimes you need to turn the lockers off in order to do that.
Yep.
Or at least it makes it a lot easier to do that.
Yes.
And since you're not really going high speed, I don't think you need the added level of the air system and the high speed selectables. There are definitely benefits to ARBs in terms of strength and Yukon lockers, in terms of strength and knowing that they're engaged. Whereas E-lockers, you kind of need a quarter to half a turn of the tire before they engage kind of thing.
And that's where I was going to go. The benefit of having a high speed locker is if you're in the obstacle and you're on throttle, you can engage the lockers.
That is true. Yes.
And you will then, it'll immediately start actuating.
Yes.
Where if you're in the obstacle and you're on the throttle with a slow speed electronic selectable, it's probably not going to engage.
And I've been in that situation before, and I've had to back off an obstacle to engage them and go back on. We don't do I think that stuff like in Sand Hollow can require you to do that. You need kind of complete control mid obstacle of stuff. Of your drivetrain. I don't know if there's too many instances of that on the Rubicon per se, or I've just been out on the Rubicon enough. I know where the lines are. So I just turn the lockers on before I hit the obstacle and just go through. But yes, that is a very functional benefit that the air lockers have. Aux lockers though, I don't think they need a quarter or half turn of the wheels in order to operate. So probably I think not. once you engage them with that mechanical linkage, the wire, the cable actuation, they're locked. So I would imagine if you're in the middle of an obstacle, you'd have to stop your wheel spin and settle down for a second, lock the locker, and then continue.
Right.
But on the Rubicon, I can't think of any places where that would be a bad thing. I think there's places in Moab, in Pritchett Canyon, you don't want to be halfway up one of the walls in Pritchett Canyon, decide you want to turn on your lockers all of a sudden and then stop halfway up the wall to turn on your aux locker.
Yeah.
You really need the ARB there to turn that on.
I agree.
I mean, I guess in terms of functionality for the system, I think you've sold me on the high speed selectable.
I think
just being able to do the different forms of rock crawling.
I think you are able to do. You have more variety of available options to you for when you can engage.
Yeah.
And
that's a good way of putting it.
I think that it beats out an E-locker in that aspect.
Yeah.
Where with an E-locker, you just look at the obstacle and you're like, okay, I'm probably going to need to engage my lockers. And then you just engage them and then you hit the obstacle.
Yeah.
Where an ARB, you're like, let's see if I can make this in, 2-wheel drive, aka one tire up front, one tire out back, pushing me up this hill, see if I can make it up and open.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't, and I can immediately engage the lockers and then be able to crawl through it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think you get that little bit of a boost for a high-speed selectable. But I think not far behind is the slow-speed selectable.
Yeah.
Just because it's there's a benefit of less stuff. It's less complex on your vehicle. It's just you have to think about it a little bit more if you want to engage the lockers or not.
True.
So there's a little bit of a balance there.
Yep.
How about spools?
For rock crawling, I love the simplicity of spools. I love they're super strong. They're super simple, very reliable, very consistent. Kind of what we've already talked about with spools. The only thing I don't like about spools while rock crawling is exactly what you said earlier. They kind of push you through turns. If you need to make a tight turn, you can't turn them off, and you end up having to Austin Powers the turn, which, that's a trade-off. Kind of like the what we just talked about, air lockers versus e-lockers. Sure. The trade-off with spools versus selectables is that you end up making more Austin Powers turns on the trail than just one-shotting the turn.
Right.
So you get the strength, simplicity, reliability, and consistency of a spool. You just take longer to make turns.
Yeah.
So
then would a mechanical locker be better because they are not engaged on a turn?
I think the mechanical lockers get engaged anytime you put power to them, right?
Yeah.
So Grizzly, Detroit, they're going to be locking. That's a lot of times when you hear the click, 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 click through turns. I think that they're locked up and they're operating the same as a spool in that point.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's no advantage to having a mechanical or a spool. I think they're pretty damn similar.
Yeah.
For rock most of the times, like we talk about on the road when we were talking about mechanical lockers, you're not going fast enough to carry your speed that isn't when you're not on throttle to make a corner rock crawling.
Yeah.
If you just are there. So they're one and the same in an essence.
I will say I will take all those options over unlimited slip in the rocks though.
Agreed.
Yeah. And the limited slip, just because you have to get that wheel spin going. And a lot of times drivetrain components bind up very quickly and easily in rocks. That's your big risk rock crawling is drivetrain bondage.
Nice.
When you have a limited slip and you start spinning that tire and then it causes the clutches to transfer the power to the tire that has traction. If it's bound up and you have a lot of your drivetrain umph and gusto behind that, you can snap things very quickly with limited slips, or it all of a sudden sends you flying up and over the top of the rock like an automatic transmission does. And you come crashing down on the other side and it's not a fun ride and it's rough on your rig and rough on you and rough on the drivetrain. So,
and with limited slips, usually you have to carry more speed.
Yes.
Through obstacles just so you could keep that working.
Exactly. Yep.
So I think limited slip, besides open, I think limited slip's not far above it.
Yeah.
I would almost argue that if you're driving your vehicle to the trail, a mechanical locker would be above spool.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
If you're trailering, probably just have a spool.
Yeah.
But selectables are the best in a rock crawling situation with probably ARB or
one of the Yukon zip
locker style being edging out e-lockers only because it's more versatile.
Yeah. So I agree.
Okay.
That's a good way to wrap up rocks.
Yeah. So we kind of
bondage.
With bondage, yeah. We kind of covered the different types of terrain, mud, sand, snow, rocks that are out there. So let's talk a little bit about driving situations.
Okay.
The first one we have is sort of high-speed Baja.
Okay. So you're doing like the Mint 400, Vegas to Reno, Baja 1000, stuff like
all
that.
Those, yep.
I think I'm going with spools.
Really?
I think so.
I
could be persuaded, but I think I'm going with spools. Yeah. I think any high speed situation.
Spool and rear at least.
For sure.
Maybe selectable up front.
Maybe I think for high speed desert stuff, if you're trailering, I still like spools. I love the simplicity of it. And I can't think of a whole lot of scenarios if you're going high speed that you're going to be needing to open and unlock versus lock them. And if you're going into turns with high horsepower, big tires, and a lot of speed into the turn, I would be a little concerned about the amount of force being put on the differential, and like an auto locker differential or a selectable differential. If you're locked up, the spools are just so much stronger.
Yes.
So, I think I'd still go with spools all around for, like, say, a trophy truck application, 4-wheel drive trophy truck application. So,
okay. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be doing spools all around.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was something more minor league desert racing style?
Kind of like taking a Ford Raptor, an F-150 Raptor out to play for the weekend kind of thing. I would probably do Detroit in the rear and selectable up front in that case.
Yeah.
Just because I'm probably driving home with that vehicle. Probably didn't drive it or trailer it to the trail. And you get the functionality of a spool in the rear and a locked rear and front. But you don't have to worry too much about either one driving to home or not. So,
okay.
And if you have selectable hubs in the front, then just do an auto locker front and rear. I mean, you can always just unlock the hubs to drive home, and your auto locker in the front has no play on anything going on. So,
right. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the benefits of Toyota, right? Is that when we unlock the hubs and we're in 2-wheel drive, nothing's turning in the axle or anywhere else. And so, like, for a long time, I had a Detroit, or actually I still, in Bobcat, it has a Grizzly, Yukon Grizzly up front. Yukon Grizzly? I think it is, right?
I think so.
Grizzly up front, and which is a Detroit. And that's what I run on a daily. That's what I drive on the roads with it up front, right? But because nothing's spinning in that axle, it's not affecting my tires, not affecting my turning, nothing. So that might be a good option for that. I think I would still do a high-speed selectable in the rear.
You think so?
If we're like a Raptor style, or the TRD Hammer. Have you seen that?
I have not seen those yet.
No?
It's essentially the new Ford, the Raptors for the TRDs.
It's the Toyota Tundra TRD Hammer.
Okay.
And it's supposedly this new, I don't know if it's AI or what, but it's the Raptor killer that Toyota Tundras are going to come out with.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see if that's true or not, if it ever makes it. But what a horrible name. But
they could have done better.
I don't know if they were thinking of King of the Hammers or something. But I think as a daily driver, I think I would do a selectable still in the rear.
Yeah. Daily driver, yeah. Weekend warrior rig, where you have a different vehicle daily drive, I'd probably go with a Grizzly.
Yeah.
I think they're slightly stronger than ARBs or high speed selectable. I feel like there's less systems involved to make them reliable. But a daily driven vehicle that you're taking out to play with, selectable in the rear. Yeah. Is a good way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about rock racing, like Ultra 4 kind of style?
I'd say I think I like the way a lot of the Ultra 4 cars are set up. Spools in the rear and a high-speed selectable up front.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I can only imagine the abuse that some of these things take. And so I think you just have to think about more strength than like opportunity. And for the most part, I would almost run spool. I don't know what, why there would be a benefit necessarily to running a selectable up front besides maybe some of the higher speed stuff. But
I think the main reason for the selectable up front is, when they're in trails like freaking ball peen where it's not burned in, there's no real trail. You have to choose and work your way through that thing. Or like what Randy did when he went up and around that big ass rock to pass everybody for his big pass. I think it's a lot easier to do when that's open and open. When you just have a tight maneuvering on a rock trail,
you want to be able to
maneuver and select if you want that on or not.
Yeah. And it would be nice to have like turn it off in the rear, but turn it on in the front and do some digs or something.
Yeah.
I don't know like how complex that gets. I mean, we could do into like rock climbing,
right.
rock crawling, right? And that's obviously selectable, but I guess that would make sense.
I love the strength of the spool in the rear though, because I mean, those cars do rip across the lake bed at 120 miles an hour. I think they clocked Eric Wicks's new car at like 130, 140
Holy
across
cow.
Emerson at one point. But like at that speed, that much power going through with that much torque out of those engines at those speeds, having that spool in the rear is a very nice thing. I can't imagine many scenarios in the rocks where having selectable in the rear is going to be make it or break it. I could see having selectable in front being make it or break it in some scenarios.
Okay. Yeah. But I think either one of them would work fine, but I don't.
And a lot of the cars do run spools up front too. So
yeah,
they do.
So if you're building an Ultra 4 rig, consider that.
I'd be curious to hear from some of our Ultra 4 drivers.
Yeah.
Rhea, Trent, Manili.
Yeah.
Christopher, all of you guys.
What's the Nissan guys?
Yeah.
Do they even make lockers for Nissan? So that's what I'm curious about.
They're just welding everything.
Yeah,
it's funny. Brady, you guys give us a call. What has your guys' experiences been for our race teams that listen to the show? What do you prefer to drive in high speed rock crawling, quote unquote?
Sure.
Yeah. Ultra 4 cars.
Yeah. I think that'd be interesting to hear. Racers' takes on that for sure. The last one brings us back home, just sort of forest roads, sort of a daily person going out, like a normal Joe Schmo. What do you think would be a good situation for that?
I think you're selectable or open front, maybe selectable in the rear.
Yep.
Maybe Detroit in the rear. I think your vehicle is probably not very modified. It's not very niche use. You're using it as your daily driver, your weekend play vehicle, your getaway to go camping, getaway, go hiking, your Swiss Army knife of vehicles.
Yep.
And I would say you don't want to be open. I think there's too many scenarios that happen on Forest Service roads where you need to make sure you're getting at least 3 wheels of power to the ground. I think selectable in the rear, maybe Detroit. I think ultimately selectable in the rear would be better because you can just turn it off for daily driving and be open. Limited slip, not a bad option for Forest Service roads. I don't think it would be necessarily too bad to be going through an obstacle or be bound. Your chance of being bound up are much less than rock crawling, right? So I think limited slip could work really well. I think selectable though would be your top choice.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think high speed or slow speed necessarily matters here.
Yeah.
I think an e-locker would be totally fine. I think most people would get away with a selectable in rear and open front. And that's pretty much all you need. And then when you start moving into more technical things, then start looking at a selectable.
Yeah.
After all this talks though, I was kind of curious. Like, I wonder if they make like a Detroit or Grizzly for the Tacomas, like my truck for the front.
Oh,
and the clamshell.
I don't
know. I've never really heard anybody doing that.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
They're an 8-inch clamshell now, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. Because it's so easy to disconnect 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. And then I would assume that I don't even know. I'm assuming that CVs spin with the wheels at all time.
I would imagine.
And so the Detroit would then spin.
So
it wouldn't be that great of an option.
Probably.
Yeah. So that answers that.
Yeah, because there's no hubs to lock and unlock. There's no selectable hubs on those. So the axle shafts are always married to the differential and the wheels.
Yep. So,
so that means it would always be spinning.
But it's not powered.
Yeah. And if it's in 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It'd be very similar to, where does the disconnect happen in those systems? Is it axle side disconnect?
I don't know enough about it. No. Yeah. No, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a diff. I don't know.
The transfer case disconnect. I'm not sure where the disconnect happens for the 4-wheel drive versus 2-wheel drive in like Charlotte's 4-wheel drive system.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't dug into it at all. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
But if for a random person, like I'm envisioning my Tacoma going out there with the Toyota e-locker that it has in the open front, I think that is more than satisfactory for most people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the next step up would probably be a selectable front and rear.
Yep.
And then I don't think a mechanical or a spool is a benefit to you just because it's just not a comfortable driving experience. And these vehicles are more your daily drivers.
Yeah, they're your Swiss Army knives. So you want them usable for a lot of different situations. I think spools and mechanical lockers work really, really, really well. And they're top choices for a lot of scenarios.
Yeah.
But they're very niche scenarios. So the more open of a scenario you need, I think the options to be able to turn lockers on and off at will at any speed is your ultimate scenario for a Swiss Army knife vehicle. So
cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Fun stuff. Did we miss any kind of lockers out there?
I hope not.
Hope not.
If we did, let us know.
You
can DM us SnailTrail4x4 or 4x4 Toyota Tyler. You can email us, Jimmy or Tyler, at SnailTrail4x4.com. You can write on the Discord and tell us how silly we are because we completely forgot about one thing. Or you can call in and be a part of our snail mail episodes, 916-345-4744.
Cool. I like it a lot. Fun episode. I love talking about differentials. I think they're one of my favorite components of a vehicle and ways to manipulate them for off-roading purposes, including JB Weld. So, Jimmy, any final words for everybody out there?
I like the Rivian multiple idea of
one motor per corner.
One motor per corner, and you can control it many different ways.
Yeah, I agree. Now I just need to make full on like 30-inch travel suspensions with the motors at each corner. That would be the next step.
Get on it, Rivian.
And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
I got you. I got one for
me?
you. I got you. I got you one. I got you one of it.
Okay.
I'm still learning to speak. It's 600.
Got a couple sips of beer, man.
I haven't even had it. I just opened it.
Oh, that's funny.
It's more of a one-liner.
Okay.
Yeah. We argued all day about what to call a medieval soldier.
A knight.
But it was getting late, so we decided to call it a knight.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah.